Hello? Yeah. Sorry, I'm tweeting. Yes, hi everyone. It is I, CJ, and much like the tweet I just said, I'm here to make amends for the problems that everyone else caused last week. Welcome to Perdition, the Trials of the Eight. Um, I'm CJ. I'm your GM, God of Gods, the happy-go-lucky bestie that everyone here loves that has never caused a problem a day in their life, and a liar. And you are going to watch a fun little show today. My pronouns are they, them. That's literally like about it. And we're chugging along. I'm gonna pass it, but like maybe I'm gonna throw it up. So if I need like throw it up where it's like a ball, and so whoever wants to catch it can. See,
I punched it. I hid
that's
it away
you,
from me.
but you touched it first, and just like
Ugh,
kindergarten rules, we're making it up as we go along.
I can't believe you would bully me. It's been like 35 seconds since we went live. Hi everyone, my name is C. I use they them pronouns. You can find me making very trans, very gay art on the internet at C Plays RPG. Tonight I'm playing Euphoria, who is a changeling bard who uses any pronoun. Transplanter tomorrow. All right, that's it. Humna, it's your turn now.
All right. Well, thank you for that. I will catch the transplanter now, or tomorrow. I specifically, it's not right now. This is right now. Hello, everyone. My name is Homna. I use any and all pronouns, and I am a TTRPG performer and producer. You can find me all over the internet at Lilith TTRPG. But today I will be playing Umid, who uses any and all pronouns, and Umid is the god of hope. Good vibes only. And with that, I will pass it over to Austin.
What's up, everybody? My name is Austin. My pronouns are he, they, she. I'll be playing Mene, whose pronouns are she, they. I think that's what I did. You can find me over on most social media at Sales Sense at Sailor SCT Austin. I don't remember if anyone said anything else about themselves, so I'm done. Now it's CJ again.
It's not. Oh, it is. It is me. Sorry, I'm looking at different things than other people can see. You're so fine. Yes, it is I. It is I. Hi everyone. Hi, hi, hi. Just being annoying. That's what GMing is. I actually made a video today about GMing is cringe. If you think I'm cool, go to my TikTok, please. I'm begging.
I liked
Anyway,
that video.
thank you. I don't work that hard on TikTok. It's a very sweaty place. And when the views start coming in, then maybe I'll work hard. I believe in laziness, and you should too. Let's get started.
Someone clip that.
Actually, I'm gonna do that. What would you say if you knew it could be your last dance ever with someone that you loved? Mene, we cut back to you before the events of last episode. You exit out of the dream, well, the fantasy, the moment that you saved a soul, the moment that you saw their life diverge. When you saw what happens when forsaken souls exist. You end up back in Hereticus, the city of the Forsaken. It is eerily quiet, more quiet than when you left. There is a strange yet thick mist that kind of pervades everything. And you look up, and it is a full moon. Wait, do I? Tell me, what is going through your mind? I should say. That's good.
I think I look up at the moon
Mhm.
because there was no celestial bodies when we were in the city before. Like it
No,
was like fog mist everywhere.
there was not. It was. You said there were no celestial bodies like up above.
Yeah, like from what I recall, it was like
From what I
it,
recall,
it
yes,
was
it
like
was
foggy and
it
misty
was like
everywhere.
foggy. You could not see anything.
Yeah.
But
So
right now, as clear as day, you can see a full moon, almost like too close, like it is staring at you, like it is calling to you, almost as if you could reach out and touch it.
I think I look up at it and I just say, as if I'm looking someone in the face,
Mhm.
what do you want?
And I think like maybe you're staring at the moon for a while, almost waiting for a response, almost as if a celestial body, a piece of rock could speak back to you. And kind of as it rotates, kind of a little bit to the darker side, basically almost making it not a full moon, as you see a sliver of darkness, that hilt with a broken blade by your side begins to glow.
I take it off my hip and I look it back up again, like, is this what you want? You want this stupid fucking sword back?
Make me a persuasion check.
Ha ha ha.
I dare you to get a natural 20.
No, I very much did not do that. Uh, that's a 10.
Good lord.
The dice, they tell the story.
You're so valid. I think like in a way that kind of like like the other gods have spoken to people before, like a breeze of wind comes by, maybe something falls, you feel a little bit of energy like coming down from you.
Mhm.
A revelation attempted to make its way to you, but like kind of basically like hitting a goddamn wall. You're just like, this is like, what the fuck does that mean? Could you just say words?
Mhm. I There's like no one else. And I think Mene is just like, fine, you want this stupid fucking sword back? Take it. And I throw it as hard as I can towards the moon.
Yeah, 100%. And you throw it, and there's a long, deep silence. And I don't know what your passive perception is, but I think like
16.
after 16, that's fine. I think for a while there's a long silence and you just like maybe stew in that. And I think maybe like you look a little bit, and in like the flat side of a building, you begin to see writing. Kind of like literally like you are watching the like as if you were watching someone write something live, like CO, and then it keeps going. Come to me. Use the blade.
I get up, I walk I don't know, like 60 feet. I threw the sword. um, I like shine it in the moonlight. I'd probably try a few things. I'm like, what do you want? How?
On like a side building, because they use very big letters on a separate building. Become one with the blade.
Are we this insufferable?
And then on the
Okay.
third building, it is you after all.
Mine like whispers to herself, if this kills me, Elva is going to drag you down into the ocean. I think she puts the like this like broken blade like on her, like right above her heart, and starts pushing in. I think there's a lot of trepidation because she is technically mortal now.
Yeah, you can die.
But I'll say she pushes it in until it starts to hurt.
Like,
I don't know how far that is.
Not
So,
very, I feel
not
like.
very. I think like
well, she has to get through her armor and stuff. She's like, I don't know, like maybe that counts. Maybe that's enough.
I want you just for shits and giggles. Can you just make me a Constitution save?
Sure.
I need to know what you're gonna roll.
A 25.
Okay, great, wonderful. I expected this. To your surprise, it does not hurt. And once you kind of like, there's a little bit of struggle because you wear armor, obviously. That's the part that kind of like takes the effort. But then you feel, because you went over your heart, you feel a prick, almost like confirming confirmation. And like a peg into a slot, the sword slides in like butter until like you hear the hilt of the sword tap like your armor, and it's all the way in. And as you're like, huh, your vision begins to go hazy and your body drops.
She's like, there it is.
Yeah, there it is. And your body drops to the ground, both knees, like you're slumped over, almost in prayer. And then your spirit goes up. Mene, you at first kind of you see yourself rising from your own body, kind of translucent, spectral, and pulled upwards towards the moon, almost like in a teleportation. And your feet hit the ground almost as if you were solid. And you kind of like look around, and obviously, I don't know, like maybe you've been the moon. Maybe the moon has been a part of you. The moon has been a physical manifestation of you in the world for, well, as long as Mar and Elva existed, as long as they were the mud, as long as they were the sea, as long as they were the earth and the volcanic eruptions that created the ground. But you've never been here. It's dark. You would presume it's cold. And as you are walking around, you see that sliver of shadow that kind of turned itself before, and you feel a pull, like a tugging for you to go there.
I think I instinctually adjust my bag. I adjust my ghost bag, and Mene just says like out loud to the moon herself, well, I told you if I died, Elva would drag you down to the ocean, so have fun with that, but I'll come see what you want, as I seem to be a specter now, so.
Yeah. And as you're walking and walking and walking, you eventually cross the threshold into the shadow, where what you would presume the sun would reflect, where it ends, where that stops. You realize, like, maybe there's a point at which you look out into the deep void of space and you're like, how is the sun doing? And you don't see anything. Nothing. Maybe you look down at the world and there is a thin layer of magic and you realize, that is what has been lighting. That is the orange in the sky. But then you think, why has the moon been showing light? Why is there a shadow? And I don't know how long it would take Mene to ask that question, but the moment it comes, you hear a familiar voice. Solaris. And you see her, your sister, almost like in a temple, like an altar, a spectral form of your sister.
So I see you got called up too.
Not quite.
Not quite. Okay. Did you bring me here?
In a way. Yes. Yes, I brought you here.
I keep walking up to her. So, did you finish your trials then? Are you back among the divine?
You see, and you kind of look at her and you see that she is wearing not the clothes that you remember, but something more flowery, like floral, I should say. There we go. That's a better word. White, long dress, almost, not almost, the thing that you know that her followers would wear during funerals. No, sibling. This is where my soul came after I died.
What do you mean when you died? When you ate the apple, did you not have a body there?
I never made it that far.
Where's your body?
It's with Mar.
Simple enough. Find Mara, finish my trials, bring you back. You can finish your trials.
It will be harder than that. Because I was the first to fall when we reached the world.
Okay.
Like, not fall from heaven, fall. Death.
Yes. Well, I mean, we've done more with less for mortals, right?
Yes. But I need you to see something.
Of course.
And she gestures for you to come closer.
Yeah.
And she places her spectral forehead on yours. And you begin almost like magic flowing into your mind. Memories, a vision of what happened. Soul fell, obviously, like everyone did. Somewhere deep, somewhere far, somewhere where the sun shines. And the remnants of herself could maybe watch over in a way. Because you know you all left something in the god realm. And some time goes by, she's minding her business, she's walking around, kind of maybe like punching a few trees, just acting out, being very upset that she's no longer who she once was. Until maybe for a while there is, time to breathe, time to realize, all right, well, if I can't go back, I guess I'll make the most out of this. And then she finds her book and then she reads it. And it is that moment when she's reading, when she's most vulnerable, when she's finally let her guard down, she realizes that something has been haunting her. It. And as your sister turns around, it is too late. A big tiger-like creature that kind of embodies many aspects of each of you. A husk made of stone, a maw that breathes such heat that it is like sunlight, a flowy, watery tail, and each paw kind of with a different aspect of the rest. And it rips and kills Soul in one fell swoop. And Soul doesn't die immediately, because during that time, you were still godly. You hadn't eaten the apple. You hadn't had your first death. So her soul goes where she knows it'll be safe, in the crevice of her sibling, to the moon. But she keeps watching. This creature drags the body, keep feasting on the divine energy that lingers on your sister's body, much like a predator with a nice piece of meat. And then it gets a hint, it gets a smell of a second god. and it runs and it runs and it chases and it excitedly finds a crater where Mar presides and takes a bite. But Mar doesn't flinch in pain. No. What then happens is maybe actually you do hear it because the creature has kept the body around. A conversation of such desperation, of such sadness that even the creature kind of takes pause. And the two of them travel together, but only after Mar sees Soul's body. And you see a look of like shock, then horror, then everything in between. And we just kind of like fast forward cut to the two of these creatures being together. Soul, no. This wouldn't happen if we were all together. We could protect each other. And then the creature speaks. I agree, little fish. Had you taken me on in my first form, I surely would have lost. But now I'm stronger. I have clarity. And now it's your turn. And it jumps forward and he's like, wait! I can get you more. If you let me save her. Please. I can bring you double of what you had. That is a fine deal, little fish. Fine. But you only have until my hunger comes back from eating that one. As it gestures to Soul. Okay, I'll do it. And for about a century, we see kind of like your sisters speeding this up. Soul's body kind of like dressed as if it is a funeral. The clothes that she's wearing now, protected, kind of using the bit of magic, maybe like half of the magic that he has. Mar feeds the creature every now and again a little bit of himself, a little bit of divine snacking. And the monster grows bigger. It grows larger. And he crafts a blade with the other half of that magic, with the rest of what he has, into a sword hilt, almost very similar to yours, but one that is intentionally missing a blade. And he trains, and he grows older, and he gets on his last bit of divinity. And then you realize he dons a helmet, says a prayer, and the one word that sticks with your sister, that memory that she has of watching over it, is the God Killer. And then you come back. Sibling. I already have someone keeping over me. I should be fine.
Not with him, no. Not with it.
And what will you do?
I'll. I was gonna say I'll do what I always do, but I am not leaving you there.
So you're gonna go into the world, abandon the trial, find my body, and single-handedly fight the creature that has virtually consumed two gods already, alone.
What's the point of going home if you're not going to be there with me?
And she thinks on that for a long while. My dear, I am already behind on the trial. You would be going home without me already.
I would wait. I could help. Listen. What I have learned through these trials is divinity means nothing without love. We are family. We are sisters. We're night and day. I can't do this without you.
You've already got so far.
I just assumed you were ahead like you always are.
And now you know the truth. The truth that's always been the case. You are ahead. You are ahead of me. You are so wise and determined and strong, and that always made me upset. But right now, it's bringing me comfort.
You're more fun at parties.
Oh, yes, I am. There's always a fun twin and a better twin.
Listen, I don't know if anyone else ever can understand what it's like. We see everything down there, and I like point down to the planets. Every waking moment is funneled into here. And it's so much, but it's easier knowing that someone else has to do it.
You think about that. You have 7 others right now living without that. You have peace right now. You have an experience that doesn't quite go beyond what siblings have. But we're all changing. I have had so much time up here alone to think about what it is that I want to be when I return home. How I was so angry and insecure, and how much I just wanted to be with you, and I can make that happen if you can help the rest of them, if you can get beyond, if you can stop Mar and it.
I think I take both her hands and I put my head against hers again. I will do anything to bring you home.
Then you just have to get home, and I will get there. There are things that I can do, the trials, and there are things that I can't. And right now, I can't save myself. I can't help Mar. And I can't stop it. But you can.
Well, not sure how much help I'll be, and I hold up my broken. Do I have my broken sword?
You don't. I think like
Okay.
you maybe
I was
instinctually
gonna
do
reach
it.
for it.
No. There is a beginning. And there's an end. The cycle keeps coming.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
In your time up here, I wonder if you've wondered if I've been wondering in my journeys. Do you think they were here first And were there stewards, or do you think they got here when we got here? And I like gesture down with the moon and vaguely towards space, like meaning the sun.
Yeah. Well, considering this is still here, and I'm not, gestures vaguely into the same direction that you did. I think they arrived when we did. I think they are a facet of us. Maybe they're more than us. I thought about it, but I found other things to occupy myself.
It's fair. Well, I do want to get home, but I fear I'm in a predicament as I did stab myself in the heart to get up here.
Oh, that's
And I
not a
am
problem.
quite. Oh, okay.
No, I can send you back. No worries.
You're wise too, you know.
It only took 1,000 years as a spirit.
Well, you're quite busy being the sun. I feel like people dote on you much more than me. With the phases, I get some alone time.
Yeah. And I think people underappreciate just how much light the moon gives.
Uh, I do like the hand behind the neck thing. I'm
Yeah.
just a reflection for you.
And I shine because I have you watching.
Well, if I have to get home to get you home, I guess I better stop moving.
I'll miss you.
You'll see me soon. I won't make you wait long.
Good luck.
When have I needed luck?
Yeah, okay, yeah, you're right. And she hugs you.
I'll get back.
And as you come out of the embrace, she looks past you and you see a door.
All right. I'll see you at home soon.
It won't take me long. Just save them, please.
And I go through the door.
And you do. And as you breathe back into your body, you feel like a longer pain in your chest.
That's fair.
Yeah. It's kind of sore, not really killing you, but definitely not. It's you need to pull that out.
I think I like grab on it, and then I like let go, and then I like rifle through my bag and take out like a fire starter piece of wood and
Yeah.
like bite on it. She's just like, I'm not a god. This is
Yeah.
going to hurt.
Yeah, 100%.
And then
yeah.
she tries to like rip it out really quick.
Yeah, and you try, and then you like the length that you expect it to be. You're like it just you're like, oh wait, why is it? And then you look down and you realize it's longer than it was, and you're like, what is going on? And then you pull, and then you pull, and you pull out a fully reformed sword.
I think I just like literally jaw drop, and the wood like unceremoniously like clatters in this weird foggy liminal space I'm in.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we have some work to do, old friend. Starting with how the fuck do we get out of here?
And as you look down at the sword and you realize it is not the same color that it was. The bottom is that same kind of moon-like color that it was for you, but reformed at the top where the blade broke is that orange color of magic of your siblings. And as you kind of pick it up and say, we've got work to do, you hear a voice that maybe you don't want to hear. Maybe you don't want to hear. That's my job as the magic man looking extremely dapper, like more than with that corset, maybe like kind of like some nice pleated pants, just kind of like a tuxedo suit, like maybe the three piece, but the second piece of a three-piece suit that isn't the coat, with the coat hanging over. It's a vest. I remembered what the part was. It's a
The
vest.
second piece of
The
a
second
I
piece of a
can't
three-piece.
believe.
Not-
I
not
can't
a
believe.
not a coat
I'm
and not
gonna-
a corset.
Not a coat, but a corset. It's a vest. You got to keep that waist
Or it could be a
cinched,
corset.
baby. It could. They already have. They wear the corset every other time. They need time to breathe. It's a party. And with a very ornate door, they kind of put the coat over their shoulder and they say, "You're late for the party. Shall we go?"
One quick question.
Yes.
Have you upset Elva since I last saw you?
There is a somber look on their face. No,
Okay.
they have enough things to be upset about.
What do you mean? I say like putting the sword into my hand and dismissing it into nothing.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
And they open the door and you kind of hear like music and like notes and people like dancing, almost as if a ball is going on. I'll tell you on the way.
Fine. I hope you brought something for me to get dressed into. I'm not really fitted for Natalia.
It's kind of a magic thing. You'll see.
Okay.
And you come in. And we are going to cut to the ball. As the ball starts, we see a lot of spectral, kind of like faceless individuals walking around, dancing, clinging their glasses together, celebrating things like it is the last celebration that they will ever have. We see them all line up waiting as you all kind of stand in darkness. You kind of see, like, everything here is translucent in a way. You see through the walls into the dance floor where these people are waiting up, almost lining up, waiting for you to like waiting for the guests to come out. And in this darkness, you notice that you have changed your clothes already. Like, everything was very quick. Like, as soon as you came, like as soon as you walked through that door, as soon as you all followed the magic man, it was very much a like magic swirls, like you blink and then you're in this dark room and you're kind of taking everything in. It's dark here, it's light out there. There's a translucent wall between you and there. And then you hear the voice of a different individual, someone that you all have you've never heard this voice, but it almost feels familiar. You see her, she is spotlighted out in the middle of that room, past that translucent wall, in this ghostly ball. She is a fat woman in a beautiful red dress, holding, I guess, like maybe a microphone, long hair, maybe like kind of up in curls. And she speaks with a voice that is so perfect, so sing-songy. Let's have our first star come out. As the doors open to the translucent room that you're in, you hear the feet, like you hear footsteps, almost heels, clicking and clacking. Again, it has not been long. You have not had, maybe Umid has kind of tried to take it in, but it's like really dark. And then a spotlight comes in where you all are, and your eyes all go to Trist, aka the former god of despair, who is dressed in short blue striped pants that go to their knees, with leather tapering the edges of those pants, and a matching corset with white buttons. No, I do not mean just shorts. A long white sleeve dress shirt, I should say. Kind of tapering with a blue top hat and a neck piece, and a floral neck piece to cover. The top hat has goggles on it, and it is adorned on their faces a cat-like leather mask with a large clock on their forehead. and long thigh-high white boots with like a bunch of buckles coming up. Very like there's a style of this. Yes, like steampunk cat girl. And they walk forward kind of with the like with a like with a cane, kind of like spitting it coming up. And you hear that like heavenly voice say, Trist, and all of the ghosts clap and clap and clap. And Trist, he, him, she, her, goes and stands kind of at the place in the center with their hand open, waiting for their dance part, like their partner for tonight. And then in this darkness, I think you all are next to each other, so you can kind of see each other. And then to some of you's, maybe all of you's displeasure, our next guest, the light comes down. And it's Lysander. With a beautiful yellow dress length ruche gown that drags to the floor as they walk into the light, from the darkness into the light. It's sleeveless and it's backless and has a V-neck going right down their center. And the connection points at the shoulders have a long cape-like fabric, almost flowing ethereally. And they have gloves covering their hair. They have gloves covering their hands and their arms, and they have a gray mask with a sunflower cresting up top. And Lysander goes right out into the light and stands next to Trist, and they kind of like interlock arms. And then the next person goes up. Let's say, oh, you know what? I'm gonna look dice. I'm gonna do a dice. I threw the dice. It's a 4. That is exactly, I was gonna say Euphoria. Euphoria. Almost like, it feels kind of like almost a little invasive as you're maybe standing next to Elva and like Moo, and you're like, okay, who's next? And like the spotlight comes and you blink and you're there fully dressed, and you gotta walk.
That's so true. I do have to walk. And Euphoria, of course, has changed for the ball. She's wearing butterflies. Is a butterfly? A little bit of both. Their skin is kind of like paper, like torn parchment, all the way up. And on it, these like long, almost raggedy dresses. The ruffles, when you look at them, are actually like small flapping wings of tiny white paper butterflies, like all up and down their body, all over their skin, all up their neck, and cresting even onto their face, where like a large pair of these paper wings kind of come off, although all of it is completely devoid of color. And the only 2 little spots are the wings on the butterfly's eyes, where Euphoria can see from. And in this form, they take one little inhale, and all of the butterflies like ripple their wings just a tiny little bit. And then they start walking out. Can Lysander please make me an intelligence saving throw, DC 18?
Hello?
Could you do that for me?
What are you doing?
I'll roll
Saying
at
hello.
disadvantage. I'll roll at disadvantage because the moment they see you, it is like jaw. Is this an attack?
It is a saving throw against an attack.
Great. I'm max damage.
Let's go 1.
Max damage? That's 60 points of damage.
Yeah, and they look at you. And what is a spell?
This is a Psychic Lance at 7th level. As one of those, I think, butterflies comes right up off the center of Euphoria's chest, they almost like touch it and they send it toward Lysander with a small flick of their finger. And it moves so fast, it passes through the center of her forehead like an arrow, just all the way, and it just like melts on impact right through. And that'll be a full 60 points of psychic damage.
Just like, I think your hand is the first to come into the light, and then the lance is the second thing. And like even the spectral heads all turn and look, and it right in the center of Lysander's head. And everyone claps, like, ooh, like wonderful light show. Like nobody speaks, but you can get the vibe immediately. And you walk out. And it hurts. You definitely see their bodies shudder. But their eyes don't come off of you. And you stand in your spot and you wait. And I think the next person to come out is Moo, who is wearing a dress of hair all around the body. And Moo comes out and puts their arm next to you, being your companion. And the next person to come out is Umid.
And Umid walks out. All two of them, I'm me remembering how tall they were, all two of them, I think they walk out, their red hair flowing, and similarly they're wearing what appears at first to be a red dress. No, if you blink it's actually pink. No, wait, it's yellow. No, it's blue. No, it's all of these colors all at once and constantly shifting between them. It's this beautiful flowy tulle dress that is made of what appears to be pure light and glitter, the ends of it quite literally flowing like a waterfall, and the glitter, the same way that when Umid walks they leave glitter in their wake, the dress itself also leaving puddles and puddles of it. I do mean quite literally puddles of it behind them as they walk. And on his shoulders are these wired angel wings that look like feathers almost, as they walk towards this stage, podium, whatever it is that's been set up for everybody. And she, I think, looks bright-eyed as she walks up, looking very intently towards Lysander and at Trist, and then at Euphoria, and then back to Lysander. And there's this stiffness to Umid's countenance, to the way that Ray walks, that is a little bit unusual for them, but plastered smile, beauty pageant like. You would never be able to tell.
Indeed. And you go in, and I think you stand alone for a long while. Because I think you look and you expect like Elva to come out, but it's not, that doesn't happen. And you're like, okay. And then there's a very long pause, and I think the spectral crowd begins to kind of wonder and wait. And you see that announcer kind of like, well, it seems we have a delay. And then you see they kind of reach their hand into a spectral space and pull out a telephone and kind of put it up to their ear. And it's like, yes, okay. And then kind of put it back. It seems we'll be having a halftime interlude. But for now, everyone say hello to our fallen gods. And then it's just like, like the same, like a little bit of clapping. Say a little bit of clapping. Why don't we get the dance started? As that light that brought you in begins to light the center point at where you all are. And you realize, kind of like maybe you thought it was a podium, it is a raised dance floor. In the center of it, that individual, the magic woman. Pick your partners. Let's get the show started, dears. And I think for like in a very strange way, you all are spaced out automatically to the edges of this. And you find just the magic woman standing there waiting for that first dance. And then Triss walks out. And he stands there for a little bit with a hand out. And you hear Triss go, you know, it can only be you. And then Moo walks out after a few minutes. And they come together and they dance. It is a beautiful dance. It's a little messy. Maybe Moo's very tall and Trist is not not like 7 feet tall. Like I'd say like 5'10", which is not short, but Moo is freakishly tall, and it's kind of awkward. And you see Triss is the one leading, and you see kind of Moo lean in to listen, and it is like it's kind of clunky. These two don't dance, but they speak, and you see them speaking. Kind of the dance seems to be a cover for what they have to say to each other. And I'd say about maybe a minute, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes go by. And then the dance ends and they bow and people clap and the two of them walk away. And you do not know where they went. Oh, yeah.
I was going to. I guess I can. And I think Umid, who had started when the magic woman had asked us all to pick our dance partners, Umid had, I think, started to move forward towards where Moo was and was about to ask Moo to dance when Trist intercepted and now has taken her away. So I think Umid is just kind of standing a little awkwardly, like clearly not at the edge like everybody else, but like in a little bit, and is like standing awkwardly like, do I just retreat? Do I keep going? I don't really.
Yeah. And I think like your hesitation matches the same hesitation for everyone else. And I think kind of there's a little bit of, I think there's like a clock in the middle, and the magic woman is like, I'll give them some time. And kind of grabs the mic again and steps in the center, and starts singing a piece. I want you to Special by Lizzo.
Magic woman, vamp, 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 vamp.
And you all have some time in this darkness, in this like, I'll say it's dimly lit, to kind of like choose and speak to each other.
Euphoria has been staring at Lysander this entire time. I think once they had been like pushed and separated and pulled to the far ends, those like odd winged eyes are hyper fixated nearly on this person. And I think it's almost a gravitational pull that brings Euphoria across the dance floor, as though they are moving not of their own volition. With that same kind of intensity, the same kind of empty, desaturated rage, whatever feeling that is, that lives in them, that they've never been able to name or place. Ah, I remember it now. Heartbreak, of course. I know that one. I do. And it's with that air that Euphoria brings themselves across the dance floor toward Lysander.
I think Lysander is holding a plate of food, like maybe like the hors d'oeuvres, and is doing the thing with like the little stick, get some cheese, puts it in their mouth, and is watching the magic woman's illustrious performance. And as you walk up without even turning their head, very similarly, it could only be you, Euphoria.
There only ever has been just me. And you.
So we will dance.
Wasn't it you who brought us down to these trials?
Oh,
Don't
yeah.
look so upset about actually doing them. And Euphoria offers a hand.
And placing the plate down, grabbing your hand and looking at you with such a seriousness, such a sadness. I'm sure you've had to think a lot about yourself as well during these trials, Euphoria.
You would be highly mistaken if you thought this was the first time I ever thought deeply about myself.
And you would be bold to think that it is the only time that I have.
Will you lead, or will I?
How about you?
Very well. Let me show you exactly what I've learned since we've been apart. And Euphoria begins to lead the dance.
Yes, and you walk forward right as the Magic Woman's like solo as performance ends. Beautiful. As the Magic Woman recedes back into the darkness, very fluidly, very smoothly. The two
Euphoria
of
gives
you,
her like a deep bow as she goes.
she blushes a little bit, says, "Oh, I like your look," and just kind of like keeps going backwards. And I think Lysander is kind of the first to kind of take place, allowing you to interlock the fingers, to take the lead. And a song that you haven't heard for a very long time. The song, you and Lysander's song, begins to play. And you dance. And I think Lysander's the first one to speak. I think the dance for you two is such a fluid thing that it happens oh so naturally that you don't even have to think about it. It feels so easy, but it is so silent until Lysander speaks. What if this is our last dance, Euphoria?
Isn't every single one of our dances our last dance?
No, what do you mean?
We've done it all before, haven't we? Every last first kiss. Every first last kiss. And yet here we are once again, in the ballroom, at the dance. The last time I saw you, you said it would be the last time that you saw me. And yet here we are. Is it our last dance, Lysander?
There's a pause, an embarrassment. Do you want it to be? I had assumed that every time I kissed you and felt like it was the first time, every union that we had felt like a new beginning, like magic between us. But I assumed it would be the last, that you would go becoming something new to leave me by my lonesome. Is this the last time?
You have always seen endings and new beginnings. I have only ever seen a new path in front of me. I don't know, Lysander. I don't know what this is anymore. I doubt now. I doubt my new path. I worry that there is nothing more that I could be, that there's nothing else that I could turn into, that there's no more path for me to walk ahead of you and hope that you'll follow behind. What if it is the last dance?
Then I hope to make it a good one. I hope to have fun with you this last time. Because you are ahead of me. You've known yourself for so long. You have loved yourself for so long. I don't know how to do that. I've never known how to do that. I've never been my own person, only pieces of everyone else.
Euphoria is quiet for a long moment, and I think the next time that Z speaks, some of those butterflies start falling off their dress, just kind of fluttering to the ground like snow beside them. Lysander. That is not a kind of love that I could have ever given to you. It is one you must have found for yourself. And I think the hardest part is now, of course, that I don't have it either. I think I've lost it, Lysander. I don't know who I am anymore. And I don't know who I'm supposed to be. I'm afraid. I'm afraid that when I find my heart, it won't love me the same. I'm afraid that now that I have doubted, I will never know anything but that tiny voice that now lives with me. Insecurity. Doubt. Now that doubt won't leave my tongue, I'm afraid I'll lose my name. Any of them. All of them.
So you doubt now, in this moment.
How could I not? You threw me from heaven.
And then I threw myself. But I can't speak for you, but I have come to realize a great many things since falling, since becoming mortal. And one of the things I've realized that almost makes me feel silly is that often the truth that we need to seek is right in front of us. It exists within us. You doubt right now, but your name is still Euphoria. You exist with doubt in your heart right now. And that isn't stopping you from loving, is it? At least I hope it's not.
I don't think I could stop if I tried. What still lives in you, Lysander? If doubt lives inside me the same way love does, two thorns I can no longer get rid of, then what sticks with you? Where is your divinity?
Envy.
Huh.
God, that does not exist, but I guess it existed within me. Maybe that was all I ever was. Watching each and every one of you exist in your domains, being your domains, unaffected by the other. And then there came me. Each absence, each lapse, each pain affected by the rest. I came in the middle, but God, I didn't understand what that meant. It meant that I would have to look behind to make sure I got what I need and look forward to make sure I knew what I could be, and I didn't either. I envied each and every one of you for being something greater. I assumed that having a piece of everyone all of the time meant that I was not whole, but it meant that I was more whole than everyone else, that I was more full. And that means that I have a piece of you all too.
It does, doesn't it? For we have all loved you.
And I had not loved myself. I tried loving you.
And how did that work out for you?
I mean, it was nice for a while. I had someone who I believed was like me, who could be anything, be everything, was perfectly beautiful in that imperfect way, ever changing, ever flowing. Some days they were butterflies. Other
And some
days they were
days there were
glass.
flowers.
And I wanted only to be perched on that flower.
And I have only ever been the flower, the butterfly, the love, the wind. I have only ever been love for others, and never for myself. And then I was me, and I was love for myself. And now we both doubt. Now we are both made of doubt and envy
And love.
and life, Lysander. For what is immortal but life itself?
What is love, if not the thing that makes mortals? Tell me, do you ever believe yourself to just be self-love?
I never believe myself to just be anything. I am many pages of a book, Lysander. The love that I have for myself is a mirror that I see in all of you. My ever-changing form is a single love letter written in a book of them. For everything that I have seen, I have brought into myself so that I could love it even more. Every mortal I have seen love and be loved, I have become, and in that way they have become me.
And I understand why you've become doubt now. Do you love your doubt?
How could I love my doubt? How could I look at the frayed edges and broken pieces? And yet I do. I do. The fissures, the cracked edges, the broken glass. I cannot help but love it, Lysander. I've already tried to tell you. I cannot help but love. And it hurts. To love. But I am glad I do still.
Good. Good. I love your doubt. I love what you've become. You look radiant, even when you doubt.
And I have always known that you would follow me. I had always known that there was love in you that I could not yet imagine. All things that I would be eventually came from you. And first, I hope you will find that. I will hope you will find the place that I live inside you, even when we're apart. Because you cannot just love me, Lysander. You must also love you.
I'm learning to. Would you be surprised if I told you that this time I was ahead of you? We waited for a long while for the ball to start. A couple decades, couple centuries. Me and Trist have been traveling together.
You interest?
Yes, he's a lot more tolerable when he learns to be comfortable in his own skin.
Good. I have found hope in the earth and the moon, and I have found fear, and I have also found the ocean, and I have found the sun. But I cannot say I'm pleased to have found either of the two.
What do you mean?
You set us on a journey, Lysander. You set us on a journey that you did not truly understand. And some of us are hurt. Some of us are dead now, and some of us will never be gods again. I hope that you may come to love that choice, but I doubt it. And I always will.
And as you say that, the song ends. And Lysander is frozen in shock.
Euphoria, as the lead of the dance, gently lets go of her waist, almost peels their hands away again like these soft pieces of folded paper. They step back 2 steps, almost leaving Lysander in the spotlight, before they turn and look to where they're supposed to go, because they know Tristan Moo walked out that way, and they know that they're ready to move on from this dance and let it be the last and the first. Again.
And as you walk away to where you assume you're meant to go, you feel something kind of tapping your chest. And you reach, and there's a key, oddly colored, with your name engraved into it.
Thank you, they say to no one and everyone at the same time. And they go find the door that this key belongs to.
And you do. And Lysander is stuck there for a very long time. As they move, I don't think they move themselves. I think that same ability of the room shifts them out of the
That's
center.
a spotlight, just like,
Yeah, 100%. Like the spotlight just gone, and then it comes back down to the magic woman, and she says, it's about time. We're going to intermission, but not before our final guest arrives. Well, our second to final guest. Mene, dear, it's your turn. As those doors open, and you and the magic man kind of walk forward, and I think there's just like kind of an exchange, a look that you know what you must do.
and then kind of walks in, sees the look. Oh, come on, there's 2 of you now?
I've never been alone.
All right. Mene is wearing like a very traditional like Greek goddess type dress. It's like, it looks like 2 strips of white fabric that have been like tightly just like tied around her bits, more or less. and it like the extra fabric is extra fabric is draped like over the shoulder, going back like a almost like a cape, but there's no like part on her back. It's just on her shoulders.
Yeah.
And there's two slits like up the sides, so like legs are like fully out. And that's really it. Otherwise, like it's like very simple. It's like simple. It's like very simple, very like clean lines, very like bright white dress. I think the only thing about her that seems more remarkable than that is she's wearing this necklace, of this large sun medallion.
Ooh.
That hits like right center of chest. She walks in and I apologize to whomever is here in the dark that I kept waiting.
No worries, dear. We're all waiting for you. And we could wait forever.
That doesn't make me feel any better, but all right.
Well, that's fair. We're on intermission. Get some punch, get some drinks, and grab a partner when you're ready.
Of course.
And yeah, the magic woman kind of gestures for you to walk to maybe the food table.
Mm-hmm. Are we the people going on intermission?
What'd you say?
Are we the people going on intermission? Is that what's happening?
Honestly, if I was the producer, I would have cut to break immediately after. I was so confused. I was like, was that a cue? Like, I don't know. Is that a cue? Are we ready? Like,
it can be now.
I would have fucked up your show.
Now that the narrative has shifted and everyone has said, "Is that a cue?" Like every good GM, we're gonna roll with it. If you've just got here, I'm sorry. Godspeed. Performers need a break. We'll be right back. I'm sweaty. Hi. Hey, it's me, your most annoying god, the god of being annoying and pretty and cute and sexy and fun and flirty and all the things in between. CJ, and we are going to jump right back into it. Welcome back to Perdition, Trials of the Eight, which that number might be incorrect by now, but like, regardless, it doesn't matter. No, I think we're at seven.
It still wouldn't be
It's still the
9
eight because
because Mars
well,
not doing the trials.
yeah, and that's why it was eight. But now we've figured out that neither is soul,
Oh
so
my
it's the
gosh, I'm so dumb. I thought the 8 was because the god of mortals was the one who struck us down.
yeah, no, that
It's been
yes,
hours.
but yeah, no, you get it. But you're correct. And then Lysander came down, so it was 9, and then 2 people were like, "We're good," so it's 7. The numbers are all fucked. They were never true. It's fine. Anyway, as intermission continues, the magic woman again reaches into void space, pulls out a phone. Oh, we're good. We're ready. And puts the phone back, hanging it up wherever it is, and says, "Guess our final god has arrived. Elva, show 'em what you're working with." As the doors open up yet again, and Elva, what do you look like? What's going on?
Elva walks in, and her look for this party is much different than the look for the party that we all met her at in the first episode. So then and she's still she's back to her same marble, like very deep, like a white stone marble skin with the gold veins are back, and the copper under eye bags are gone, and she still has her like geode chunks in her body. But what's different now is that before she was wearing a dress that was basically liquid gold, and what we see now is the deep green hair that she had before is kind of pulled back a little bit, and she has on this really understated green vine headband thing that wraps in the back, and kind of like flows down. And we see that she's now wearing very plain clothes, more of a deep brown, that flows down into this like just this like wavy. It looks like it's moving, um, and it's not sparkly. It's not ostentatious at all, and you see that there's a fur like trim around the collar of this dress. Um, it's much different than what she how she looked before, in that it's not cold.
Yeah. And I think you walk up to the magic woman and she gestures to the table where like everyone, all of your buds are. And I think she just makes a singular comment and says, "You look comfortable. Good. Find a dance partner and come to the floor when you're ready."
I think Elva looks around and greets her wife lovingly and gives her a kiss and those things, and says, um, I choose no partner. And as she's standing in front of her friends and everyone else in this room, I'm going to cast Transmute Rock and turn myself into mud.
Yeah, just like getting a little slippery.
Yeah.
And I think the magic woman, who's like a little bit away, not far, is just kind of like watching. It's like, okay. Like, kind of like, I'm gonna let her cook. Like, let's see where this goes.
Yeah, so I'm mud now. And what everyone else sees is just a pile of mud on the ground. Um, but when I do that, I reach for Mar.
Yeah. And as you do that, I think like I'm assuming you're in the center of the room, like Meta, you walk up, you get a kiss, and then like mud. And then it's like, you know what? I'm a back.
I think there's a bit
And
of an apology in Elva's eyes when she sees what her wife is wearing and then turns herself into mud. But she also has a goal in mind.
100%. And as you turn yourself into mud in the center of everything, music begins to play. It is the song, it is the first song that you and your sibling ever heard. And as you reach for Mar, I think like your mind in a way, maybe like I think it's actually in a way like your spirit, kind of similarly to how it's happened this entire episode for everyone else. Your spirit comes out of the mud and flies to where rock meets water in the mind of your sibling. And I think you see them sitting alone. You arrive to a room. It is dark, and it is, though you can't feel temperature, you know it is cold, it is dark, maybe a few icicles kind of like somewhere off in a corner. It is cold, it is dark, there's a singular fire, and sitting on like a slab, an altar, is like, I'll say that it's covered because it would be gruesome if not, is like a body, and your brother is just sitting in a chair looking forward at the flame, at the body, and just drinking something in a cup. And his helmet is off. He's no longer wearing his armor. He's kind of like sitting, like reclined, very much looks tired. You see that age that he had is still on his body. The hair is graying, beard on the face. And he just looks so sad. And he doesn't notice that you're here.
When does he not look sad? She the brown dresses now it's mud. Before she had that moving gold, the liquid gold dress, and now it's just mud. And she approaches her brother. And she sings the song that they first heard when they were mud.
Yeah, and you can see that music hits his ears, and he like kind of perks up for a minute and like looks around, scans the room, and then sees you, and then he jumps up, uh, and you see his hand kind of like reach out, and the blade kind of comes flying to him. Alva, what are you? Kind of like looking you up and down, kind of analyzing the situation. What? Putting the sword down by his side, kind of like relaxing. What are you doing here?
I came to talk to you.
I would ask why, but that feels redundant. You can't be here.
She looks down at herself, looks around.
No, you literally, you shouldn't be here. You shouldn't be here. You are, uh, it's, it's not safe. Because I'll kill you.
You can't kill me.
I literally could. Like,
Not here.
that's,
You can't.
and I think, kind of realizing the situation, he sits down and walks over to like a pot of dirt and places his hand in it, and his body goes limp, and very similarly happening, his form comes out of his body, and you see like the spirit of like a form of the man that you used to know, like the dark hair slicked back, kind of looks wet, as you would imagine him being so comfortable in kind of a relaxed t-shirt, maybe like some slack pants, and he kind of floats. All right, fine. I've projected. What do you need? What
Well,
is so important?
you threatened to kill me
Yeah,
and our siblings and my wife.
she wasn't there.
It was implied. Am I wrong?
And he has not looked at you in the eyes. He's not looking at you. He's looking away from you this entire time. Yes, I'm doing what I must. I'm I'm a god killer now.
Why?
What do you mean why? Cuz and cuz you left and you left when we needed you. And you were gone and you're doing a trial and I'm doing this. This is my trial.
You could have done the same trial as the rest of us.
No, I couldn't have.
Why?
And you see, like, he's kind of like biting his tongue, ready to say something, and then pulls it back. Because we didn't have the option to.
You say we.
Because yes, some of us aren't doing the trials, as I'm sure you've noticed.
Yeah, because you killed one of us. Not because she chose not to do it. Where's your friend? I'm gonna look around for the monster.
Yeah, make a perception check.
That's a 29.
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt, the monster is not here. Like, you listen in kind of in a distance. I think even with a little bit of divine inspiration flowing through your body, you look through the walls because you're spectral. Physical things don't matter to you. And you look at a distance and you're like, you look around, you scan, not here. They're not here. And yeah, I killed her.
Are
What
you
about
proud of
it?
yourself?
No.
Oh,
And how am I supposed to answer that?
I'm not surprised. You shouldn't be.
What kind of a question
And
is
you've
that?
never been proud in your life.
Oh, yeah. And you've,
Always been proud, as I
mm,
should be.
yeah, you ever think you're a little too proud? Do you ever think that's going to be your downfall?
Yes, but no.
Yes, but no. Oh, are
Yes, I
you
have
what?
been too proud. No, it will not be my downfall because
Hmm.
I have seen what people like that become. And she pointedly looks at him.
Ah, the trial. You are growing and being better, the space that you fill that you are supposed to, being the person, being the god that you were supposed to be. I'm sure that feels good. I'm sure you're proud of that.
I am, and I did it without many.
Wow. That is so inspirational. You finally stepped away from the codependency of the person that you left me to die for.
She pointedly yawns at him, just like,
Oh, you don't care? Oh, because I'm not supposed to feel some type of way about that?
should I feel sorry for you, Mar?
Do you not feel bad for that?
I feel bad that I left you,
Okay.
but it is not my fault that you became this.
Yeah, you're right. It's not. I became this because I had to. I became this because it's something I need to do. I became this because
It's
it's what
easier.
people. Oh, it's easier.
Yeah, it is easier. It's
It's easier
easier.
to shove my divinity into a sword and feed it to the other half of a beast so it doesn't kill me.
How did you leave yourself so vulnerable to such a beast? What did you do when you fell?
I waited.
You know what
I
I
waited
did
for
when
you.
I fell?
What?
I got
Found your
up and
wife?
started walking.
Oh,
Your
yeah.
weakness is not my fault. When we separated, do you remember when we were mud?
Yes, I do.
And we separated, and I got the anger, and you were so sad. And you had a hole in yourself that you couldn't fill, that I could no longer fill, because we were no longer one. Because the world, whatever we are, they needed us to be separate. And I poured that anger into everything that I became, and it gave me an apathy and a pride that was dangerous. And the only time that I was calm and made decisions that were wise were with Mene. And you had the choice. You had the opportunity to find something to fill that hole in yourself, and you didn't. And when I left you, it was because you were already falling, and I could not help you, and it was possible that I could help others. And yes, of course, I was looking for Mene first, but I didn't find her first. I found Rhea and Moo. We had a tea party for 10 years with skeletons and waited. I saw what you did. You laid there and waited when you could have stood up and started walking like the rest of us. I'm going to continue growing because I believe I can help you. You left yourself vulnerable to a monster, and you have become that monster. I love you, but you're not my responsibility. And she's going to uncharacteristically sit there and wait for him to respond instead of just walking away.
And you see a tear kind of comes down his eye, and he hasn't been looking at you. He's been listening. Look, you're right. I left myself vulnerable. I know. I have had hundreds of years to think, to become this. But I won't stop. I will not stop. Because if I do this, I can save her. And he looks to that body that is under the cloth. Okay. Yeah, well, some of us aren't so lucky
I didn't
as to
get
have
lucky,
people by our
brother.
side. I disagree, but I understand the sentiment. It is hunting us, and it has been. And Soul was the first to go. But she's not quite dead, and she's not quite alive. And a look that I don't think you have ever seen from your brother solidifies determination. I respect what you're doing. You've always been better than me, sister. I love that about you. But this is where I'm standing, and this is what I'm doing. Because if I can bring enough to it, I can save her. I can maybe slay it. I can do this because this is what I've become in my loneliness. It is not your responsibility. But it still hurts, okay? You never even apologized. And you don't need to. You can take all the responsibility you want. You can keep moving forward. You can say that it wasn't luck, that it was always you moving forward. And there's truth to that. But there's also truth in the fact that you didn't come look for me. You did not reach out. And we got hurt. It wasn't just me leaving myself vulnerable. You've found out the strength of being together. But in being together, you forget what it means to be alone. So, keep doing your trials, and I will keep doing mine. And when we cross paths, we'll see how it ends.
Um, she looks at him and takes a long pause before she says anything. I am sorry that I didn't meet you along the path. And that's the last thing she says. And then she takes the ring that she was wearing that was her divine symbol before it changed when she became mortal, and she takes it off and she places it on the altar next to the body as an offering for Soul and for Mar. And she doesn't say anything else. She just walks away.
And as you walk away, I think you have a high passive, right? From what I
Mm-hmm.
remember. There are two things that you notice. The first of which is Mar's ship. It is much smaller. You see it up on a shelf inside of a glass bottle, protected. And the second thing is you hear Mar's last words to you. I'm sorry I wasn't fast enough to walk with you. And then you're gone. And I think for everyone else who watched Elba become mud, I think there is a translucent dance between a spectral form of Elva, almost like a show, like something is being projected here. A spectral form of Elva dancing with a spectral form of Mar. But it is like not dance, it is not like cohabitation, it is like a clash, like a very rough spin into like them pulling back and then a run forward. It's a kind of like swing dancer. And just kind of and when it ends, the two of them are looking at each other and they turn away and walk and dissipate. And then Elva, you come back reforming from mud into yourself.
And I think it's the same. It's that same dress with the fur collar, but it's now muddy.
Yeah. And I think there's just like a light clapping, not like because it was bad, but because like these people are somewhere between real and not real, but like they just witnessed that. Alva, you feel like kind of like a little bit of viewing, not necessarily on your conversation, but watching something. And someone was knocking at the door. And people just like, good job. And I think like the magic woman is like, good job. We're gonna let's have another break. You know, let's fucking and like and just like
Magical
steps in the
I don't know what the fuck that was. I'll get the crowd hype again.
I'll get the crowd hype and just like another song starts playing. God, my brain can't think of any more Lizzo songs just in this specific moment. I know them, but I can't think
Boys.
of
Worship
Boys. What'd you say?
Worship me.
Either one, a combination of boys and worship me and the boys. And then I think the Magic Man comes in and it's a duet.
No.
And there
Elva
is
boos.
Boo, tomato,
Boo.
tomato, tomato,
And
tomato.
to most of your displeasure, the Magic Man, perfect pitch. But
Hate
yes,
this bitch.
yeah, no, won't stop being. He will not stop shining. But yes, and you all can like kind of meet at the punch bowl yet again, and you understand that the two of you have yet to dance.
I think, I agreed, Elva, of course, but the whole time, Mene has been non-politely staring at Umid. And so the magic woman's like, intermission, and I'm like, one moment, honey. Umid.
And I think you see, for you, Austin, because I don't think you know what Umid looks like. They are 4'2". They have this like short, straight blonde hair with these two thin braids framing their face. And the striking thing about Umid's features are that she has multiple ears, just a myriad of ears, human, elven, bovine, feathered, all of it. And when they open their mouth, multiple tongues can be seen, I think, in his mouth as well. A human tongue, a forked serpent tongue, a barbed cat tongue, serrated duck tongue, and so on and so forth. And when you call out to me, like as we're all sort of congregated at this punch bowl, I think Ray had been like pouring themselves a drink and they just kind of like look up at you. Sis!
Where the fuck have you been?
I thought that I was alone. I actually only recently learned that all of you are also here. Congrats.
No, I mean before. You weren't at the party upstairs?
There was a party.
Yes, before we fell. Where were you? Where have you been? Why didn't you tell us this was happening?
And I think Umid looks over to where Euphoria and Alva and the rest of them are, and they, I think, kind of like set their drink down on the table and hold out a hand up towards you. Why don't we dance?
Sure. But they, and I look back to the people who like you, are not going to save you this time, Umid. I want answers.
Let's dance.
Fine.
And I think Umid will lead Mene out onto the dance floor. And how tall is Mene? I just need to know. I mean, you play tall bitches. How tall is Mene?
I think I made Mene in mortal form like mortal tall, so she's like 6'5".
Okay, so still like 2 feet taller,
Yes.
pretty much. I think Umid, like, would they be able to reach your waist? I don't know. They grow up to reach whatever part of your body that they can. And I think start to sort of slow dance, not really paying attention to what kind of song is playing. Like, it's clearly an upbeat song, but they're just going to slow dance with you regardless because she's not really going to dance with you. That was mostly just an excuse to get you kind of away from everybody. And she looks up at you, the glitter kind of like flowing and creating like trails as we're going across this dance floor. How has it been being down here? Everyone is so angry.
Yes, it's been fine, I suppose. What I'm really curious about, Umid, I'll just be very frank and blunt. Why didn't you tell us that hope was dying among the mortals? It's sort of your purview. What's been going on?
Well, aren't the mortals Lysander's domain?
Yes, but when it comes to their emotive states, you, Euphoria, Moo, we kind of rely on you letting us know how that's going.
Well, I have been sending many thoughts and prayers out for the mortals of my own accord, and if those aren't reaching them, perhaps they've simply stopped believing.
Oh, Umid, you are so funny. You've been sending the mortals thoughts and prayers instead of answering their thoughts and prayers. Yes.
Well, if I receive them, I take them with gratitude, as one must.
So you're
And
saying you've not been doing your job among your domain?
no, of course I have. I hope for better for them. I hope that their situation improves, that they come upon better circumstances.
Is this a game to you, child?
No, of course not. It's quite serious.
My sister is dying because you and Lysander and all these other fucking gods couldn't do their damn jobs.
From what I hear, and I think Umid kind of like takes Mene and like twirls her around a little bit as the two of them go around. What I hear is that Soul isn't actually quite dead. Good news, isn't it?
Sure. Silver linings and all that. Of course. What I'm saying, Umid, you can't just hope for a better outcome. What have you been doing?
I was the god of hope. Is that not what I do? You, as the moon, you are up in the sky to reflect the light of your sister, to help move the tides along with Mar. You do your job, and I do mine. I hope.
I. I'm not in charge. I know people act like I am. We don't have anyone in charge of us, right? But
Lysander sure likes to act like they're in charge.
they certainly have. But as one of your elders, I implore you to consider that perhaps sometimes you need to take a more direct approach than just sitting on high and hoping that things get better for them.
Oh, no, no. I've been teaching others, actually, of the appropriate way to be a god, to be a deity. Lysander themselves were my first student, actually.
I think, man, I fully stopped moving.
Oh, and I think like Umid like bumps into you at that, not expecting you to have stopped.
And I crouch.
And there's like
there.
it's like when Tinkerbell like bumps into something, there's just glitter, a puff of glitter everywhere, as they bump into you.
And I crouch down. And I have on what I feel like people probably call the serious face. Look you in the eyes. What do you mean you've been teaching other people how to be gods?
Well, everyone is so misguided. Everyone's always so angry or so sad or so. And Umid's eyes go over to Euphoria. Self-involved, that people don't know how to be gods, right? They don't know that we're not supposed to intervene in the mortals' lives. We're simply supposed to guide them by example. And so that's what I've been doing, and that's what I taught Lysander to do. Non-intervention is best. Hands off, of course. You don't do anything for the mortals other than show them, tell them what is the best way to be.
What exactly did you teach Lysander?
I taught Lysander that when a mortal prays to you, you listen, of course. You provide words of comfort. You tell them that things will be okay, that things will get better. And you allow the mortal to take those words and to do with that what they will. That's all. Nothing more. Anything more is an overstep of our domain, of our purview as gods.
You don't send aid or an oracle
Oh, no.
or a champion or...
That's for the mortals to figure out themselves, of course.
Mene stands back up. I have failed you like I have failed others, Umid.
What do you mean? You've never failed me, big sis.
Well, Umid, either I have failed you or you have failed mortals, so which one is it? Which would you like to be true?
Neither. And so neither is true.
I understand. Of course, and I start dancing for you again because as people stare at us. Of course, we cannot do everything for mortals. That is just not the way we do things. I don't know if it's a cause or not, because as far as we know, we're the only gods who've ever existed and the only ones who've been made.
Free will and all of that. The mortals must have a choice.
Of course, but if a mortal prays, let's say, they're hopeful for rain for their crops. That may not be your domain, but perhaps you can tell Elva, these crops need rain. Can you and Ma do something about the weather pattern to aid them this season?
Well, do the crops need rain if the mortals simply hope for rain?
Yes, Umid, as the farmers who work the land know it much better than we do because we are not there.
But they're simply hoping for rain.
Precisely. And maybe you're right, maybe they won't need it, but us, in our not necessarily infinite, but very powerful wisdom, can look into it and see if they need the rain or if they're will be coming shortly.
Well, I think that if those farmers, in this hypothetical example, of course, were hoping for rain, then they could pray and hope for rain, and I could help bolster that hope, bolster their confidence And hopefully that confidence will then translate into them acquiring water for their crops so they would not need the rain itself.
You know, I mean, thoughts and prayers are much better outside of one's head, where action can be taken. It seems you have gone a very individualistic approach to your domain. We can only get through this together. That is what this trial has shown me.
But was the god of inspiration. I'm a muse, not an artist.
But do you not work with artists? And I gesture to the other gods in attendance. Do you not work with people who perhaps could do something? Perhaps you can inspire them to help the mortals that are so hopeful for rain in a drought, or for that new job for their family, or whatever it is they are begging for. We can't help everyone, but sometimes helping one person in the community that's struggling is enough.
And Umid kind of looks over at all of the different gods, and their eyes land on Euphoria for a moment longer. I thought I did.
We are all struggling with this, Umid, but I am not. That's a lie. I am angry, but I still care for you.
And I
And
care for you, sis.
Whenever we get home, I hope that you can learn on this journey that you do not do this alone. It is up to us to make sure that the people out there, and I gesture to some blank void space, meaning to like mortal kind, has what they need to have the life they want. Has what they need to have the life they can thrive in. No one else will help them. They turn to their neighbor, and the neighbor does what they can. And they turn to the community over, and they do what they can. But when they run out of supplies, when they run out of options, you know who they turn to?
To us. Mene. And I think Umid's voice gets a little bit quieter, like they're trying not to let anybody overhear this conversation at this point. And they continue to dance with you, moving you around the dance floor constantly, not allowing you to stop. I am here to help the mortals cope with their lots in life. There is not always something that we can do, and if the mortals are left to suffer, isn't that worse for them? Shouldn't they feel hopeful that things will change, even if they never do? Simply having the hope that things will change allows them to keep going, to move forward, to have a new beginning, perhaps.
Perhaps, Umid, but doing that landed us all here, so I don't know if that's the path to take.
If we don't cope with the bad things that happen to us, then what? We're supposed to feel sad about it? Angry?
Sometimes.
And what if that consumes us and we can't stop?
That's what other people in your life are for, Umid. It is a heavy burden that each of us carry. We can only do it together. Earlier, I asked who they turned to, and you said us. But my dear Umid, and I tilt your chin up to look at me, they turn to you first. Before they pray, before they go to one of our temples, before they do an offering, The simplest prayer that even the youngest mortal child knows. I hope this happens.
What do you hope for?
I hope we get to go home.
And is that a prayer?
Onto a dead god's ears, I suppose.
And I think Umi laughs slightly, the shaking their dress, ruffling it, glitter falling. I'm not dead yet. Let this be the first prayer then that I guess attempt to answer.
I'm sure you'll do beautifully, Umid. I do have much faith in you to not do what you were doing before. Not that it was wrong, but maybe a different approach. Ask for aid, sometimes counsel, perhaps, on if it's something you should intervene
Counsel.
in, or if it's something you should. Let's see how it plays out. We're not all knowing. There's unfortunately
I have a
no
problem, Minnie.
Yes.
Euphoria changed and left me.
Oh, yes.
You said to ask for counsel, right? So
Yes, of course, of course. If I can't say I understand, I've been married to Elva for eternity, but I can
imagine
imagine.
if Elva changed and then left you behind. What would you do?
I would try to do something to catch her attention so we could have a discussion about what's happened and why I may or may not fit into her life anymore. Perhaps the change was for her and it was for the better, and now she needs something else. But perhaps she didn't think I could accept the change, and so she was afraid and just didn't talk to me. But have you talked to Euphoria?
No.
Ha. You seem to have a fear of talking, Umid.
I'm not afraid of talking. I do a lot of it. We're talking right now.
Right. What I mean is talking for real.
Is this a dream?
Oh, goodness. I swear. I thought, been alive a few thousand years, but godlings just take so long. No, Umid. What I mean is, talking deeply.
Like
You
I
seem
said,
afraid of that.
I cope. It's what I do best.
Are you coping or hiding, dear?
Is there a difference?
Yes. A vast one. A chasm lies between the two. In the middle is nothing but despair if you can't cross it.
Well, I think Trist would know more about that than I.
Something I'm learning is we all need to know a little bit more about each of our domains.
Then come, teach me a little bit about the moon.
Certainly, but first, and I think I spin you, so you look at Euphoria. I think there's someone you should talk to, darling.
Right now?
Maybe not, but, I am going to go spend some time with my lovely wife.
Right. Of course, partners and all.
Hmm.
Right.
Thank you for the dance you made. It was quite enlightening.
It was nice to see you. I've missed you.
I know.
And as the dance ends, Umaid, I assume you walk away first. As you
Yeah.
walk away, you feel something kind of tapping your chest, like you feel it inside your shirt. and you reach in.
Reaching inside.
Yeah. And you find a key. And very similarly, I didn't narrate this before, but Elva, when you come, I say probably about now that you're maybe parts of you are solidifying, the first part of you that solidifies, you find as well like a mud covered key like in you. And you just kind of like, all right, like you both look at it and you see your names etched in it. And Mene, as you are walking away, you hear something. Just a voice. Maybe it's the magic woman. Kind of like a message being sent to you, like kind of like a paper airplane style. Hoping everyone but yourself, dear.
Who the fuck? Please don't tell me you're bad as him. I say.
You look, and I think the magic woman is just like sitting, like laying on like one of those chairs, those long chairs. And spirits are like feeding her grapes. And she just kind of waves at you. Okay. Mhm. And you can keep walking. But she sends that to you. It gets said.
I keep walking over to Elva. I think when I get to Elva, I'm like, I thought she'd be better than him, but she's just as annoying.
Who is?
The magic woman.
Elva looks.
She sent me a message in my head. How?
What'd she say?
Said I was helping everyone but myself. Don't give me that look.
Is she wrong?
It's been a very long decade. I don't know how long it's been at this point.
Do you remember a time when you've done something for yourself that had nothing to do with helping someone else?
I took a nap when I was on my Odyssey. It was nice. A whole 30 minutes.
Oh,
Because I felt tired. I am doing my best, okay? But there's so much. And I saw you talking to Ma, so I assume you know there's Soul. And Soul's saying I have to save everyone so she can come home. So I'm just quite preoccupied at the moment.
Yes.
Fine. I don't need anything. I'm fine. I'm fine. It is burdensome to feel like everyone expects you to be in charge, and none of us are supposed to be in charge. But things go better when someone's in charge.
I think we're all supposed to carry a little bit of that weight.
No one seems to want to, darling.
I do.
Well, that is appreciated. I feel like I failed everybody in the down here because of me. People weren't doing their jobs. People weren't committed to their domains. People weren't talking to each other. If I had maybe planned regular meetings to check in with everybody,
Elva, who is like very tiny, just like reaches up and grabs either side of your face to get you to stop talking.
It feels like it's my fault.
How long has Sol and Mar been around?
As long as us.
And the others?
Halfway through or so.
Would you say they've had plenty of time to figure all of that out?
I would, but I feel like
Would you say
Yes.
they should have plenty of time to figure that all out?
yes.
And why is that your responsibility? I was here first, so shouldn't it be my responsibility?
Well,
If the answer is no for me, then why is it yes for you?
because for better or worse, people look up to me.
I mean, you are very tall.
Yes, but the tea party you're at, for example, you all had a tea party for decades waiting for me to get there.
Yeah.
And I felt like I had to. There's something said I would have the answer.
Literally, you would have the answer. Not, oh, we're waiting for Mene because she's so much smarter than us. I love you. We are just as smart as you are.
I know.
Except for maybe Umid.
Umi really tries their best. They want. They were just listening to prayers, but not doing anything. They weren't even telling us about it.
And what were you doing with people's prayers? What was I doing with people's prayers? What was Euphoria doing with people's prayers?
Well, I had the opposite problem of some overcorrection, of maybe too much intervention.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not the point. I shouldn't have brought that into it. I just, you know, when you're the one who steers the cart all the time, you're used to it. And over time, you get used to it. And maybe it's the first time is you just offer and everyone says yes. And then everyone assumes the next time and you don't mind. And then it becomes weird when you don't steer, but it's okay. But eventually it gets to a point where it's terrifying. It feels wrong. It feels unnatural. And then you become worried and hyperfixate on like, oh, but I do this and that must be safer because I do it and they are doing this. And then you just stop asking and just do it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to stop doing it.
Well, I can help. Try to boss me around. Try to tell me to do something.
Boss you around in public, okay. Yeah. If you don't mind, I could use a drink.
No.
But okay,
You
that's
said but before I could finish. The whole thing was for me to say no so that you get used to people not letting you boss them around.
okay.
Let me try another one. Rhea,
Yeah, yes.
please get my wife a drink.
Okay. Euphoria gets a cup of punch.
Look at that. I told somebody what to do. Doesn't always have to be you.
Yes.
Do you want this, Mene?
She does.
Okay. Here
Thank you, Euphoria. Thank you. While I have you, Euphoria,
Uh-huh.
I wasn't here earlier. Have you spoken with me since we all got here?
The butterflies all kind of like flap a little bit faster.
Right.
Yes. They lie, obviously.
Yeah, I think that was yes, like a liar.
like a liar.
Of course. Well, good. I'm glad that you've already spoken with them. And there's nothing
Yes,
else.
we spoke and we said hello to each other when we first saw one another. So we have spoken.
Right. I look at Elva, and I'll leave it at that.
Was there something I was
Rhea,
supposed to do?
you need to speak to me.
I do.
Yes. And then she kind of looks at Mene. Like, was that what you were going to do but couldn't do because you're not supposed to be doing it? Okay.
Am I in the middle of some kind of lover's quarrel?
Absolutely not.
No, we would never
Okay.
do that to you.
Thank you.
The last time we fought, I think, was 2 centuries ago. Well, longer since we are here. I think Minute gets into some sort of small
3
talk about the
islands
last
were
time.
created.
Yes, we
had
felt
a
the
fight.
ramifications of that for quite a long time.
The
It
makeup
invented
we made
several new
for it.
types of feelings. Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
yeah.
But if you need advice from now on, you can talk to me.
Thank you,
Mhm.
Elva. By the way, I think your mud dress looks very nice.
Thank you. It's very uncomfortable, but I'm wearing it.
I like it. I think it suits you. Mene,
Yes, Euphoria.
I have something for you.
Oh,
And Euphoria literally reaches into their own body, pulls something out, and hands you Soul's divine item. Just like a crystal ball that's no longer glowing.
yes. I'm sorry. If you could excuse me, I think Mene tries to find a bathroom to cry in or something.
Yeah, easy. You do it. And I think as you grab it and you begin to cry, as you find the powder room to sob, as you hold this cracked orb, I think there in the center of it, very much in the distance of the orb, a light begins to shine.
I will get you home, I say to the orb.
And very similarly, when you're finished, much like your sword, you can place this in like your subspace. And as you put it inside of there, I think as you pull it out, you find a key.
The answer was letting my wife boss people around. That seems so simple. I say to myself in the powder room.
The key almost begins to dissipate, but it stays.
The key flips me off. Like,
He's like,
do not
"No,
fucking
not
test me.
internalize that." Like,
You want to grow or not? Like,
Do not internalize that logic. Don't fucking do it.
You,
CJ,
you,
Austin, I
drop
need
it.
you. I need you to go to the next trial, Austin. Don't make me do this.
It fades out of existence, and then you're like, "What happened?" And you're like, it thought about it, but yes. And as you get your key, Euphoria, one of you, Euphoria animated. Who walks up to whom?
I love to imagine that they like turn around at exactly the same time and they're like facing each other exactly right there.
Yeah, Umid, you
If
see
that works for you.
in a far distance as you look, I think out of the corner of your eye, you see Lysander and Triss like up above, like
Fucking
like
bitches.
watching. But, you know, you
Lysander, come down here again. Come on down.
How
I
many
have
times
more-
did I teach you this lesson?
I got more spell slots. Come on.
no, they're
Come on,
very far
Lysander.
away. They are about like 2-3. They are out of spell distance.
CJ's like, no,
distance,
no, no.
whatever
I'm
the
sorry.
longest range spell you have, it's out of that distance.
And we
Did you
both we
forget
know
that I have
Lysander would
metamagic?
know.
Did we
Yeah,
forget?
no, accounting for metamagic, it's
Lysander-
past that
Yeah.
distance.
I think
They've
like
done
I think
some
they were
calculations.
closer, and then like Euphoria looks, and then Triss is like pulls Lysander. Like, no, they got meta match. We gotta go.
Come down here. No one's gonna jump you.
Mhm. But yeah, very far away. With the one person that's not gonna bully them. The two of you look, and you have some space.
Sorry, go. It looks like you have something to say. See?
Umid.
Euphoria. And I think Umid had been awkwardly, I think standing between the door and the room, like debating like I could just leave. I've got a key. I could just leave. And, like between them. So I think they're like key in hand, like fully out so you can see it as well. Key in hand, like looking at the door and like looking back at you. For ya.
Are you leaving early again?
Not early. And they kind of hold up the key. Finished my trial. Did you?
I did. Would you like to walk to our doors together?
And I think you can see Umid's body tense up at that request or that question.
I don't think we're allowed to dance twice.
Yes, yes, yes. I would love that.
And Euphoria starts walking.
Oh, so cute. As the two of you start walking very quickly, very shortly, we're going to cut to Elva. As you feel a little bit of magic kind of like coming to you, kind of like in the same way that you would imagine like a divine message, like the way you would send a divine message to those maybe stuck at sea, or like, you know, needing thirst or something in a desert. You feel it, but it's not like metaphorical. A literal, right in your hand, a wet piece of paper drops, and it has like 1 to 2 sentences on it, and it's from Mar. Very obviously, it's wet, it's sopping, feels a little bit frail, and it says, "Thank you for the apology, and I'm sorry. Period. Run."
Mene yells run. No, Elva yells run. You're Mene. I'm Elva.
Yes.
Elva yells run.
You yell run. About 2-3 seconds before everything goes to shit. The magic woman jumps up. Oh no. As this place begins to shake, the spectral building that you all were in begins to shake as if an earthquake was happening, as if everything is breaking. A split comes down the center of the dance floor up, and you realize, oh, this room was kind of like a box. And you all see, like, you know where you need to go. I think like legitimately there is like markings at the bottom of the floor showing you the way, like pointing towards the door that you need to go. And then the two of them drop down, breaking through the box. The tiger, the beast, it's everything that anyone has ever feared and ever will fear, bigger than what I think any of you were expecting, almost as if it has fed again. And the clanging of those metallic boots dropping down, the God Killer. And the tiger, the beast, it begins eating the souls of those creatures that were clapping for you the entire night, consuming almost like a vacuum, just sucking all of them in. And you all feel an oppressive, exhausting divinity that it almost like slows you. Like you feel the urge to turn back, but you know better of it. You run. And you each find your doors, each of them looking differently, maybe a little ornate, some resembling a bit of love that the first time you've ever loved, another resembling what the earth looks like when you look at it from above, the other distilled hope, what it maybe should be. And the last one, just a shining moon. And you notice that one door has already been opened. Moo's door. They've left. And I think in the last moments, you see Lysander just like fucking putting the key in the door, opening it, not even like runs past you all, fully is like, I'm out of here. Trist opening their door, maybe looking at Umid.
And I think Umid will, in this, hearing Elva's sudden scream of run and then briefly turning just to see what exactly the danger is, Umid operates on instinct. She takes Euphoria's hand and pulls him through.
100%. And yeah, you look like you're about to say something.
Me? Yeah. I was gonna say before I go through my door, the nearest soul creature, I don't know where these things are from,
Yeah.
but these old habits die hard. I gotta save someone. And I'm going to cast banishment to send them back to wherever they're supposed to be.
Yeah, give me like a D20.
I'll give
Just
you
roll
a
a
D20.
D20.
There's my 20 of the night.
Nice. I think all of the ones that have not been are not being sucked into the vacuum cleaner mouth of it. You banish out of here. And the moment that you do that, I think like inside of its mouth, it was about to chomp down on a soul, and it looks at you. Well. If it isn't the protector of all the other gods, I'm gonna come for you last. Do you remember that, Mene?
It'll be hard to come for me last if I kill you first.
And you can get out of there.
Yeah,
I think there is a purposeful pause.
back into my door.
They let you go. I think they let you go, kind of just watching, wondering, and I think you immediately see them turn to the magic man and the magic woman, who like seem to be gearing up to fight.
Hello?
But you go out the door.
They're gonna die, right?
And all you hear is like, actually, I'll say you feel it. Actually, I want you to roll me a
Absolutely.
Oh God, roll me a religion check or Arcana.
Are they the same?
I don't know.
No, I'm asking myself.
I figured. I'm answering for no reason other than
they are the same, so regardless, it is a 15.
Wonderful. As you're leaving, you like feel a magic that is so potent, so divine, yet so different coming from that room. It's not that mishmash of energies, that stolen energy from it. It's not Mars, like you felt Mars. It's lackluster. Mar is on his way out of divinity. It is something similar to what you would have felt when you were gods, if not like far greater, almost boundless. But you leave. You gotta go. And you go through your door, and you all find yourselves standing together in the labyrinth.
Sick.
And that's where we're gonna end this session.
Where you at, Minotaur, you fucking nerd?
Where's the Minotaur? But yes. Thank you for being here, everyone. It's been episode 5. We've been having a good time. The last dance, and maybe the first dance, and maybe the next talk. Who knows? You got a lot of space when you're gonna be inside of a labyrinth. We will see what happens to our gods next week. I have been your GM, God of Gods, the God Killer, all of the things that I find funny and comical and great. If you think I'm cool, hot, sexy, fun, flirty, and fresh, follow me literally wherever. It's Scholastic Dragon in all places. And I'm going to pass it to, I don't remember who got it last time. I think it was Hamna. No, it was C. I'm going to pass it to Hamna still, though.
Okay, I was like, I don't know what's happening here. Hello, everybody. My name is Hamna. I use any and all pronouns, and I am a TTRPG performer and producer. You can find me all over the internet at Lilith TTRPG. If you want to know where I am at any given point in time, though, Twitter is the best place for now to know that information. The next place that I will be is on. Wait, I have to double check if we're. I think this is break week. It is, in fact, break week. The next place that I will be will actually be here next week. However, the following Tuesday after that, I will be over on Bad House RPG's channel at 8 p.m. Eastern Time for the award-nominated Itaewon by Night. You should come check us out. It is a wonderful, wonderful show of Vampire the Masquerade set in Itaewon, South Korea. So yeah, check that out. And today I have been Umid, who is the best life coach you've ever had. And with that, I will pass things over to Austin.
Not me. What's up? Hey, I'm Austin. My pronouns are he, they, she. I just got them playing Mene. His pronouns are she, they. Me, Austin. He's an award-winning game writer, designer, performer, and friend. Mene is a former moon goddess. You can find her here next week. You can find me, Austin, most places in the internet. Sailor Scott Austin. That's at Sailor SCT Austin. I think I did it, folks. See?
Bark, bark, bark. Hi, everyone. My name is C. I use they, them pronouns. You can find me making very trans, very gay art on the internet at C Plays RPG. Translator tomorrow! Translator tomorrow. Translator, second main campaign, the Chaos Protocol, premieres tomorrow at 8 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. I didn't scare Baba too bad that time. Be there. Be square. It's going to be deeply feral, and I will be behind the scenes. And also, maybe there's something else that's special that you should come see. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know. You could come see. If you're there in chat, maybe you'll find out exactly what I'm talking about. Because that's going to be, yeah, you know the drill. Come to Transplaner tomorrow for the premiere of Campaign 2. It's going to be amazing. See you then, Transplaner RPG. I'm preaching to the choir here, so see you then. And Nikki.
Hey, I'm Nikki. I'm the producer here at TEATRPG. I am also an educator, and today was the last day of school, which is why I was late tonight, because I am tired. Officially summer break, though. I am on a Monday night stream on Critical Misses that starts, I believe, at 5:30 or 6 p.m. I don't remember. Follow me on Twitter so that you can see when that gets announced, because usually Anita's really good about saying, hey, this is happening in about an hour, so that's a real helpful way to know what we're doing. I am playing tonight. I played Elva, former earth goddess who is learning to control her anger, and that's it. Everyone, it's Friday night. Get some rest. And we will see you on the internet.